Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our talk show. I'm Josh, and this is DJ.
Or, as otherwise known, not fucking Josh. Thank God. I'd hate to be that guy. Hi, Josh.
I'm right here.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
That seemed kind of fucked up.
Oh, it was. I like your shirt.
Thanks.
No, I don't.
I know you don't.
It was a joke.
I figured.
Where'd you get it?
George gave it to me when he came back from Jersey.
Why is he in Jersey?
He went to Atlantic City.
Why would he go there?
Then he went to Delaware.
How did he get through all the trash on the streets?
He had a ride.
Him being so short.
He stole it from a baby.
Had to dig through trash just to get in the door.
Did he now? Is that how you feel?
What dumpster did he find your shirt in?
Oh, excuse me. He bought it.
As always, this month's charity, well, I always say that, but as always, we have a charity.
For this month.
For this month, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. And the charity, I believe, is what is it? National Alliance of Mental Illness is our charity for this month.
That's correct. And welcome to our Wednesday night show.
Right, and the link will be down below if Josh did his job properly, which is doubtful. So, hence the reason we're an hour late. Whatever.
Actually, it's Facebook's fault again.
Yeah. Blame it on Facebook.
It said Facebook.
You want me to call Mark Zuckerberg?
Can you?
Be like, yo, can you get our shit straight?
Yeah, and call up Streamlabs since I paid $20 a month for that shit.
Yeah, think one day, Mark Zuckerberg could be calling us and be like, hey guys, and it's like, sorry, Mark, I don't know, our whole coming up, your Facebook was just a dick. Right, all kinds of problems all the time. I don't know if we want to really help you, Mark.
Be exclusive on Facebook? I don't know. Will it work?
Yeah, will it work? Are we gonna have all kinds of problems as usual?
What's gonna happen?
That's what? What are you looking at?
I don't know. Can they hear us on Facebook?
Probably not.
I'm making sure we got the mics right.
He just snaps and he's got his mouth right up to the thing and he snaps.
I don't know who's who.
It drives me nuts. You don't know who's who? I'm me and you're you. That's normally how it works.
Okay, no, both mics are there. Okay. So today's stupid law of the day is... Where's the soundboard? It is illegal to kill Bigfoot in Washington.
What?
The law got passed in 1978.
It's illegal to kill anybody in Washington. I don't know why.
You can't kill Bigfoot.
But if you already... I'm confused. So you killed Bigfoot.
You can't kill Bigfoot.
That's why they had to make the law.
No, people were trying to hunt Bigfoot down. Is why.
And so what is that... See, I never, that always drove me nuts, right? Bigfoot. Well, who's Bigfoot? Well, Bigfoot's a giant hairy man with big feet. Well, bitch, I wear size 18s, okay? And I'm very hairy, right? And if somebody come up to my door and says, hey, I found Bigfoot, can you come out of the house? I'm probably going to hit you in the mouth.
I highly doubt you would be Bigfoot, though. You got to be... No.
If I just wanted to live out in the woods, automatically I'm Bigfoot. I have a big foot. Right, like I said, my foot's probably bigger than most. Me and Shaq, Shaq wears size 22s. I'm right there.
Right there.
18, 19s. It's just... I'm just
saying.
You and
Shaq are just walking in the woods. What is oh, look at them Bigfoots.
What does classify as Bigfoot?
The missing link. The urban myth. The urban legend. The cross between man and animal.
So a dude that's just hairy that walks barefoot.
I'm sure you've heard the Bigfoot.
Oh, I have. And I thought it was ridiculous then, too.
It's a species.
That's do you know there's a disease that makes you grow hair uncontrollably, right? And
the werewolf disease?
Right.
That's where apparently werewolves came from or whatever. There's also a sun disease that makes you crave blood. I guess you need blood and you're sensitive to the sun.
Yeah, it's called being gothic.
No, it's a real disease. That's
Bo's allergic to the sun. We don't
not nice.
We don't talk about.
That's a real disease.
Yeah,
No, it's not called gothic.
You're just gothic.
It's called
you don't want to go out
hermatoma or something. You asshole.
You just don't want to go out into the sun. You're like, the sun's not for me. You know. So, what are you doing over there?
I'm looking at the vampire disease.
The vampire disease? You know, like one in every.
It's called PCT.
One in like every 10 million people. It's a blood
disorder that affects the skin.
Oh, I can't go out in the sun and I want to suck on blood.
That's because people with this condition
basically
often experience symptoms of following exposure to sunlight. Not vampirism.
Wow. Gothics just had to take it to a whole new level.
Gothic.
Like, oh, I'm goth. I can't go outside. That's what happens. That's what happens when goths look outside. They just look out into the sun and they hear that. You know what?
That's not what it is.
Bro, if Bo was here right now, he would be like,
testify to this.
Yeah, he'd just be like, yeah, that's probably right.
That's probably right.
That sounds right. Yeah. All the gothic girls he ever dated were always pale as shit. They never seen sun in the day in their life.
That doesn't mean they're allergic to the sun. That doesn't mean they just don't like the sun. So what we got in the news today? What news can you find us?
Well,
favorite part of DJ's job is to find the news.
Right up at the top. Gas stations running dry.
Was that true? I saw like a TikTok meme joke thing, but I don't know if it was true.
Oh man, they're coming with 30, 40 gallons of gas in their back.
Why
of
is
the
it
car.
dry though? Is it like a pandemic happening or?
So I guess something happened. Well, okay. So what it really is, right, is right now there's not enough truck drivers with the proper endorsements to drive gas. When you're a truck driver, you normally get a Class A endorsement to drive semi-trucks. Now, when you drive fuel tankers, that's a whole different endorsement. You have,
license, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
They're called endorsements.
Yeah. To the people who don't know, that's also a license.
Right. It's a whole different thing, okay? Because A, you're moving hazardous materials.
Okay.
Okay, and B, you're moving liquid.
Okay.
Okay, liquid is hard to transport because it sloshes around. It causes accidents. If you're not very, very careful,
and you have to have plenty of sleep,
it'll become a problem. Now, because
I saw Fast and the Furious when they were going down the mountain and they were doing all the
because there's not enough truck drivers with this endorsement,
okay,
right, or with this class of license, they're not spreading the gas around as quickly as possible.
Is that why the gas station the other week ran out? I told you ran out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right, so people, of course, are freaking out. It's like, well, I gotta have gas for as long as possible.
I saw what happened with the toilet paper.
And then what they do is they'll go and they buy a bunch of gas like it's a hurricane, right? And then after they've bought all this gas, right, to use for the next couple of weeks, they still just go back to the gas station and act as everything is normal. Okay, so now they're taking 2 or 3 times the amount of, right, if they were just buying the gas and then using that gas.
So they're storing gas and still using gas.
Right.
So they're being greedy.
Basically.
And that's why we have a gas shortage.
You know.
Yeah, I saw a meme on TikTok, and he's like, "Oh, I remember what happened with the whole toilet paper. So let me get $3,500 in gas."
That's like, and
he's like, "What? $3,500 in gas?"
In some places, because gas is so scarce, they're jacking gas up to almost $10 a gallon.
I thought that was illegal.
Well, technically it is, but without anybody to say anything about it, you know.
So not only if it's shortage. Now we're going to jack the price up. Look at try with toilet paper and water.
Well, it's like
until the government stepped in.
I saw one sign scrolling around that said, what did it say? Oh, minimum gas per person $5, right? But gas was $3.48.
So they made you get more than you needed. Well, not really.
No. You're only allowed to buy $5 worth of gas at that gas station, but the gas is $3.48. So you're only allowed to buy 1.5 gallons. Which how far does that get you? You know.
Wow.
And then your next problem with the hoarders and stuff like that is they're using crazy things to get gas. They're using like plastic bags, putting gasoline in plastic bags.
Not milk the bag.
I saw a picture just a few minutes ago while you were trying to fix everything. The lady was, those totes, right? Those plastic totes that we have.
Gonna melt that too.
They were putting gas in that, right, to put in the trunk of her car. And like the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm like, God, I hope you fill it all the way to the top and it just spills all over the back of your car. The heat from the
not even that. It's gonna melt that shit plastic.
Up. Eventually, probably.
It's not. It's the reason why a gas tank or gas can is different than everything else you would put gas in.
Well, it's a tougher plastic, yeah.
It's meant for the fumes and everything. I mean, you can store that for years, and
you wouldn't want to.
The gas will go bad, but like it won't melt through. Those tubs are cheap ass plastic,
right? Just meant to hold like random shit papers.
Eat right through it.
Be all over the bottom of your car.
And then if you have styrofoam, if you wait long enough, you get napalm.
People were using like literal plastic bags from Walmart.
Melt right through.
Like it said Walmart, and they were just like filling it up and tying it up and putting it in their car. Like first days.
It's gonna be a lot of explosions.
Oh well,
a lot of fires.
So like speaking to that, right? So you have people doing this type of stuff with gas and hoarding gas and things like that. Now, during 4th of July in the news and stuff like that, the news goes up about people who have, they've stockpiled a whole bunch of fireworks and stuff like that, or they've been saving up for years, and then they decide they're going to use them, and then an accident happens, or, here in Florida, you have to watch, because if you have a garage here, not only are the garages not normally AC'd,
or was it insulated correctly,
vented correctly, any of that.
No, it's hot as fuck in there.
So it gets hot, and then you catch a glare off your little garage window. Next thing you know, there's a fire in your garage. Your whole house is blown up. Wife, children dead because you're crazy and have put, the batteries for my remote control car. They say store in a cool area.
Oh yeah, anything.
Because if they get too hot, right, they can. Well, especially because my batteries are
lithium,
nickel, right, lithium. So they if they explode, boy, they go. So it's things like that will be in the news next, right? It'll be like, oh, people hoarding gas are now.
Houses are catching fire,
blowing up. They've got gas in plastic containers, so the fumes from that gas, they've kept it inside. Like people just
that one spark.
You're
gonna open that garage door and it's gonna spark on the ground.
Gas station runs dry.
Man, anything good in the news?
Cryptocurrency value surges to 45 billion one day after its debate.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's other cryptocurrencies other than Dogecoin and Bitcoin.
Right. It's a collection
lithium, there's helium. There's
helium. There's helium.
No, but the
helium currency.
The difference between those currencies and Bitcoin and Dogecoin is that you can buy those in the regular stock market. You get what I'm saying? Like, here's my money. Give me my coins. All right. When you go and get other cryptocurrency, you have to buy a cryptocurrency to exchange with another cryptocurrency to get that cryptocurrency.
My shit's just getting removed.
What?
From
the groups?
Yeah. They're just like, fuck you and your
It says here, one person's watching. Too steady on Facebook. Twitch.
You know what really drives me nuts about like so these are worst part is both the ones that removed me were actual YouTube sites.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Right, actual YouTube.
They do the same thing with the podcast sites.
The admin. Well, no, the one was a sell site, but it's like at least have some balls to contact me, right, and tell me why I'm removing your shit.
Well, no self-promotion.
Like,
how else do you promote?
Right? Or is somebody else supposed to promote?
I was reading ways to market and promote. Like, go on another podcast.
Apparently, right. Apparently, we're supposed to go to other people's shit, right, while they're live, and spam their comments.
No. We get in trouble for that too.
Like an asshole. Yeah, but that's what everybody else does. Like, it's just odd. But back to cryptocurrency. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones.
You gotta get a crypto wallet, and then you have to exchange certain cryptos to buy other cryptos. So you can't just pay cash. And then the currency is like foreign money. So if you buy $50 worth of lithium or whatever the currency it is to go get Hodge coins or whatever it's called, you might have to market it like $20.
See, like just like that, right? It's like, so to me, that's just complicated.
That's why I'm saying people like Dogecoin and Bitcoin because you buy it from like a stock.
Right. I'm an old
like, here's my cash. Here you go. Boom. Thanks for the coins. You don't have to go through 6 different coins to get that one coin. And the next thing you know, you spent $50, only got $10 worth because it kept, you know what I'm saying, like the exchange. And then people don't realize when you buy, only rich people are the reason why they get stocks, not poor people.
Right.
Because they're buying thousands of shares, not like, here's 50 shares.
Well,
yay.
It's crazy to think, like, most rich people are like, you know, they're like, oh, why don't poor people just get money? You know, like.
Well, they invest in a 401k and
right. You know,
because you want like a down payment of $5,000. Who has $5,000? You know, it's like when you go buy a car, right? And your credit's bad, right? And they're like, well, if you put down half what the car is owned,
right,
then you can get this car unless you have a cosigner. Like, if I had that kind of money in my pocket, I wouldn't come to you. And then I'll go buy a used car on the fucking street.
And it's crazy to think about, right? Like, so, like, poor people, they're always like, oh, you know, this happened. There's always a reason to be poor. And then the rich people, there's you know, in their head, there's always the reason that they're poor is they're lazy. They, you know, this, that, and the third.
There's a whole bunch of situations. Some of it is because you're lazy. But also,
some of it's because you can't.
No.
Right? Like,
some of us, like me and you, went from living with our parents, paying rent, to living on our own paying rent. It's like, no matter if we lived with them or us, we had to pay rent.
Right. We
were helping paying rent.
We didn't have a relative that died that could leave us a bunch of money. We couldn't borrow our first $1 million from daddy.
If you watch a certain households or TV shows, they give you a thing. Like that 70s show when Hyde paid rent, Red just put in a savings fund. He didn't spend the money of Hyde's money. And then when he was ready to move out, he's like, here's your money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not all parents were able to do that. My mom used my money to pay rent.
Right. So,
pay mortgage. So it's not like, that's a good strategy. The kid was taught
to
pay
bills,
rent.
Get food.
Yeah, he was taught all that. And at the end of it, he was rewarded. So that's still good that someone paid rent in your household. So it teaches them the value of $1. He was working since he was in high school.
Oh, man, fucking.
But now all of us get that thing. Now all of us get savings bonds from our grandmother. You heard about that one? Right. Railroad bonds, if you're Jewish, I guess.
Right. Or something from, you know.
And all of us, again, when we were younger, our parents, we had clothes on our back, food on our stomach, and a roof over our head. That's what we got growing up until we were able to work. So when we were able to work, what did we buy? We didn't save our money. Either we paid rent or we bought things that we wanted that they couldn't afford.
See, that's just like...
But other parents, here's your Xbox for the year. Here's your new PS5.
Here's your Xbox.
So when you start working, you can just put the money away because your parents are buying everything from you. So yeah, for you, you can at 19 go put 10 grand down on a house.
Right, you're doing great.
And go flip it and become a real estate agent because your parents paid for everything. And I'm glad that you were able to have that. But not everyone can do that. And I'm glad that poor people come from poor to rich.
Right.
And go, fuck you.
Fuck you, poor people.
Yeah. No, fuck you, rich people.
Oh, right. Well, circumstances are crazy. Like, I heard some shit one day that almost fucking, oh man, just set me off. Like,
do you hate when people who don't deserve it get it?
Right. Well, or even that, like, if you don't get it, you think you deserve it, right? Like,
that one.
Somebody had passed away.
That's
right?
sad.
And then somebody's spouse got some money.
Usually.
Right? And then...
Or next to kin.
Right, but then, like, one of the family members down the line that really was in
Down the line?
right down the line,
Not
like
direct kin?
Like it wasn't even. He was married into the family.
Okay, that's even dumber.
Right,
No.
like just pissed that the spouse got all that money and did whatever she did with it.
It's like you being mad at Tom's wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it was all left to her.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, it's crazy, right? It's like when my dad passed away, right?
I thought he didn't have health insurance.
Well,
he had enough to pay for the funeral.
He really didn't there either. He had a house, and I think his last Social Security check.
Oh, that went to your sister, you said.
Right. She took the house, and she was living there with him.
And she was next to kin, wasn't she the oldest?
No, she wasn't technically she's the second to youngest.
But she was living there.
Right, but she was living there, and realistically needed it more than anybody else.
True.
So she was the one that got it. Right.
But it's all he had.
But it's all he had.
Yeah, he didn't pick a life insurance policy.
The more to the point is like you know, she didn't bother to go, hey, does anyone else need help? Does anyone else need this?
Maybe we can sell the house, split it.
Does anyone else? No, she just took it. Right?
Mine.
Because like technically, I was the youngest.
You're the son.
Right? And just because I had some stuff and was able to take care of myself, I was overlooked.
That's not right.
Right?
My mom did that to me.
I didn't say shit about it. I'm like, whatever.
My mom tried that to me. She's like, I'm going to charge you more rent because you make more. No. We live in the same room as my brother. Like, not in the same, but the same space.
Right.
Well, he makes less. I'm like, you have 2 monitors, so one can be mine? No. Why? You have 2? I have none.
Right.
By your logic that I should pay more because I make more.
Right.
You have one thing more than I do, so I'm allowed to have it.
And then God forbid that you would ever say something like that. Because like, well, see, no,
She looked at me weird. No,
I
but
didn't
after
say
that,
shit.
then we found out that our mortgage got denied for the foreclosure, so no one's paying. She's not paying rent. And then she's like, so which one of the bills you're going to pay? I'm like, what, like lights or water?
Right.
She goes, no, like, you know, the dog's vet bill, the credit card. And I'm like, no, well, no, whoa, those aren't my bills. I'll pay lights, water, cable.
Like, yeah, it's just crazy to me.
And then I found out she was taking my rent money, knowing we weren't going to live there much longer, and used it for her vacation fund.
Oh, there you go.
I was just like, well, if you're not going to pay rent, I'm not going to pay rent.
That's like what was it? We lived with some people, and
that one guy did that to us. Remember?
We were fixing to get put out. All right, but you know, in my head, right, you're still paying me even though I'm getting put out. We're getting put out in a couple of months because no matter what, that's going on to my credit. Okay. So I'm still gonna collect your money whether we're leaving or not.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, that's going on to my fucking credit.
Yeah, you're the leaseholder.
Okay, and if I get rich or whatever, I'm gonna have to pay that shit off. Right? It's not like it just goes away.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like I've had people that lived with me, right? That I'm like, hey, you got to get out at the end of the month, right? But you still have to pay me for that month you're living there.
Unless I pay first, last, security.
Right. Right, unless, okay, well, if you paid first, last, and secure, which, who does that when they move into a friend's house?
Well, basically...
Nobody.
Well, that's the whole point I found out. The point of having last month rent, when you pay first, last, anywhere you go, you should, is because...
It's supposed to help you move to the next place.
When you tell someone, hey, by the way, you need to get out in a month. By the way, I still need your brain, and I hope for the best.
Right.
That's kind of a dick move.
Well, it's a dick move, but, you know, hey, you know... Like I get that, but fuck, can't be a dick the whole time.
No,
right?
I'm sure the circumstances, yes.
That's just like they were mad because they were leaving, right? And it's like we had a couple friends over one time, and we were doing one thing, and they came out and tell us how bad that one thing was, and then 10 minutes later come out and asked if we could do something else that was just as bad. Right, so I was confused.
You came out judging,
right?
And now you want to do something worse,
right? Like how is that? All right, well, what
No,
but that's the way the world works. People don't want to look inward; they just want to look out.
I get it, and people get mad about that too. Like, oh, where's my inheritance and where's my handout? And not everyone get. But sometimes it irks me when people get something that I don't think they deserve, like based on their personality and a person they are. You know what I'm saying? Like that person that's always scamming the government and getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like this person trying to ask you for money because they're down on their shit, and next thing you know, they got $10,000 in their bank account because they scammed the government. And then they're like, then now you're nobody.
Commit a federal crime, and then mother's able to cry your way out of it somehow. I just don't
What else you got in the news?
Understand some things. There's actually a bunch of news.
What else is there?
Anything that I want to talk about? Yeah.
We got news. We don't
apparently, Ellen DeGeneres is ending her TV show after she was accused of sexual misconduct.
Her too? She's married.
And a toxic workplace.
I heard about the toxic workplace. I didn't know about the sexual misconduct.
I mean, like, what sexual misconduct is Ellen doing?
I don't know. It could be a hug.
Like she hugged that bitch. Hugged me way too long.
Unconsent.
You know, like I mean, I guess.
Man, we talked about problematic. When you get to a certain wrench point in your life, you don't. I guess you just don't think of things the same. Like one person, you might say it's a $250 fine to park in a handicapped place. When another person goes, it costs $250 to park there.
Right.
Well, I can afford that.
No, never.
But no one's playing these sexual misconduct games ever since Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Another one, Epstein. People doing prison time.
I don't know.
But again, it's wrong. But why are you accusing now? Why didn't you accuse when it happened?
Well,
that gets me every time. I understand if you're scared. Okay, fine. How about a year later? Not 16 years later. Not 7 years later. Not 5 years later.
Emotionally, you don't know when it takes the courage to do so.
This is true.
Like that's the whole thing.
But the other case is like, do you think it's wrong now because people are speaking out? And you're like, well, then now I want my piece.
I think.
Or were you okay with it then, and now you're not okay with it because someone told you you're not okay with it?
That could be true. Unfortunately,
it takes really away from the real victims.
Unfortunately, it's a case by case basis.
And then at the same time, wrong people get accused, and then you're already accused.
Right.
And you're like, oh no, I made the whole thing up.
Right, like the stuff with Johnny Depp.
That's the real one. Or another one with sexual allegations against a football star, and it was fake.
Right. The wife was beating the shit out of Johnny Depp.
He lost so many endorsements.
Roles, stuff like that.
Same thing if you get arrested for a sexual crime. You become automatically a sexual offender before even being due processed. And then when she goes, I lied the whole time. Guess what? When they look you up,
you're still a
sexual offender.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's right.
It's crazy. Dunkin' employee accused of throwing fatal punch after customer alleged used racial slur.
A fatal punch?
Yeah.
Are they One Punch Man?
I don't know.
Were they old?
Probably.
The one-hitter quitter?
One-hitter quitter.
The fatal punch. How hard do you have to hit to kill someone?
I mean, realistically, you can hit them with very little force, but if they fall back and hit their head, that could be enough.
But the punch didn't kill them. The fall killed them.
But technically, in a court of law,
yes,
if you punch somebody and they fall and crack their head and die,
and your hand your hand and the ground was the murder weapon.
Well, it's not murder; it's manslaughter.
Involuntarily manslaughter.
Right, but you still go to jail for 25 to 30 years.
No, like 10.
As
long as it's not premeditated, it's an accident. Sometimes promotion.
Again, I've never murdered anybody, right?
No, manslaughter.
Like, I've never manslaughtered anyone either.
Me either. But it's Florida, OJ got away with it, Casey Anthony.
All right, OJ ran.
But if you have weed, you're going to jail for life.
Right, 10 to 15
Especially
years.
In Florida.
So, they've been talking about the road works lately, right? Like the roads and stuff like that.
It's part of the stimulus package, actually.
Well, so one of the plans is for the electric cars, right? Because
the roads to have the charge, like they do in Europe.
You can drive over and it'll slowly charge the electric car as you go. so you can get farther with them. So gas becomes less of a necessity and more of an option.
And you have to go to a charging station, which are very hard to find in Florida.
Right. They're not
in California. They're not every stop.
They're not all over the place as they should.
No.
But so they're talking about this, and of course this is like a $50 trillion.
It's expensive. You got to tear up the roadway and then maintaining it.
You think there's probably 1 million roads and
it's a lot
in the U.S. and that's not counting the distance
and waterproofing it.
Waterproofing, maintenance, stuff like that.
Because erosion happens.
How they're going to do it to where they're able to do maintenance on each individual chargers without having to pull up a whole section of road.
You need a really good engineer, yeah.
Right.
Can it withstand a hurricane?
Things like of that nature. But so there's a lot of debate, discussion.
It was a waste of time.
The problem with progress is it does cost money.
Yeah.
And nobody's got it. I mean, the U.S. is in God knows
how much debt. The billionaires can help, but their accounts are offshore.
Right. Well, it's not also not just that. You got things that would help that aren't being done. Like changing. They can take away menthol cigarettes, but they can't legalize weed across the board. You can't
have solar energy in your house to save money because the power company won't let you.
Right.
Because they want their money.
Exactly. Oh no, the power monopoly may go down. It's like, well, they have to adapt. Okay, people can't afford to be paying the power company. No. Solar panels are way cheaper.
Tesla option.
Tesla option, which is again still way cheaper. I think it's like $100 a month for like 5 years or whatever, 6 years, some shit like that.
All solar.
But it's.
Which we shouldn't we push for recyclable energy? But there's no money in recyclable energy.
Right.
And that's our downfall in America.
You can't,
make profit.
But that's like even FP&Ls going solar. They have solar fields now instead
all over. Their bus stops, solar powered. Your stop signs that flash at you so you can see them. They're solar powered. Yeah.
A
lot of things are solar powered.
That's it. Realistically, you go around and steal a bunch of solar panels and just hook up some batteries.
Hooked up differently.
It's.
And you need batteries, right? You would.
Well, you need
some kind of converter.
So the thing is you need the solar panels, which catch the sunlight and change it into.
You gotta store it. And
then you need to store it, which is what your batteries are for.
Then you gotta convert it.
And then, you just have to have a way to send it back. The battery, it's a closed system, right? There's nothing coming in from the outside.
No, just the solar.
It's just the solar, but that doesn't count as coming in from the outside.
No.
Right, coming in from the outside is like you have a power box outside of and
FP&L is even with the solar thing.
Right, but you don't have to use it.
Well, no, it's just to measure how much solar.
If you go completely off the grid, people lose their shit.
They're gonna come get you. You get arrested.
Yeah, it's
you can't collect rainwater. You can't collect solar.
Right, it's
fuck. You better have an agricultural license to be growing shit.
Right.
You better pay that state.
You can get that by having animals.
You still have the license.
Right, but it's easier to get if you have like cows and stuff.
Oh yeah, because they eat. Yeah, and then you can grow. But they don't like when you live off the land.
There's tricks to doing things that but no, they don't like not being able to make money off you.
No, right? The way.
But they were quick to let the railroad system die.
Oh, for sure.
Even though that's how we still move a lot of stuff, and it's still there, but it's not as big as
truck driving
electric is anymore. So it's like.
At the same time, we're trying to save the planet too.
Right. Well, that's why we're trying to move into electric.
But it's saying it's not in America. It's only in other countries who are more grateful than we are. Like with Jaden Smith's project when he did the box water, and then he put machines in other countries that made fresh water.
Right.
They were grateful. Here they're like, why can't you buy it from the store?
Right.
Send over Nintendo 64.
We don't need our canals clean. We don't need,
a purifier.
We get it.
We do but it costs more money for the water company.
Our cities have purifiers.
Yeah, they send you. Remember, there used to be a lot of people used to be on well water or have septic tanks and stuff like that, right? And then when the city started growing, they send you a letter going, now you have to be on the sewage. You have to be on
I know people
water.
who used to drink well water, like didn't give a fuck. It's like I don't care.
No,
about
we put a filter.
I mean, they still had a filter, but they were still drinking well water. Like,
Well, yeah. Until the city's like, no.
Right, because it's you're not paying for water.
Yeah, and we expanded, and we decided that you need sewage. No longer can use a septic tank, and you need water. And it's like, oh, and you have to pay for that? Yeah, and you got to pay for the construction. What?
Right.
Huh? But you
got to pay for them to come dig up your yard.
And get the inspector out there.
And get an inspector out there. Because we've made the decision, but we're not going to pay for it. We're
No. But you're obligated to do this.
Right.
As a homeowner. Congratulations.
Hey, life. You know.
They don't play to see, you don't play. One of the officers said when he's in Fort Lauderdale and his buddy had a shed. On his property, but next to the canal, and they were doing something with the canal. And apparently they sent the guy the letter, but they came with a bulldozer and knocked his fucking shed over.
Well, it's like even like
knocked his shed down.
We live in a trailer park, right? And they charge a whole buttload for land, but you still have to buy the trailer.
Yep.
And then they want you to keep your land that you're renting from them a certain way, and do a certain thing, and then
like HOA.
Right, it's like bullshit. Go get fucked. Okay, like
you can't have.
I'm already paying you a bunch of money.
You can't have this on your yard. You need this nozzle.
Right. It's like, what do I? No, how about you go fuck yourself? Right? Like I don't need that.
But if I didn't live here, you would have paid for the nozzle to sell the place. This is confusing.
Right.
That means you would install the nozzle.
It's just people's horse shit all the time, and then. They just let them get away with it.
Well, Trump wanted the Mexicans to build the wall. It's the same.
Right.
Same thing.
It's the same concept.
Same concept. What do you think he learned it?
You want to keep us out, but we're supposed to fuck you.
Look at our security system.
Like it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No.
All right.
I never understood that. It reminds me when your mom goes, "Because I said so." You know what I'm saying? Like when you had to do something. Why? Because I said so.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, in the state of Florida, you can go buy a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to register it, you need to insure a car that's not registered in your name.
What?
When you buy a car, you need insurance.
Uh-huh.
Now you have to insure a car that's not in your name yet.
Oh, right, yeah, because the bank owns it.
Well, whoever owns it. And the guy, you could have owned it. Now I have to insure a car that's in your name so I can put it in my name.
Right.
But it has to have insurance first. Proof of insurance, and then they cancel your license. But somehow, a lot of people I heard driving cars with no insurance, and that's great. Fine, the licenses are fine, and but my insurance lapsed, and my shit gets suspended right away.
That's it. As soon as
they contacted DMV
immediately. Yeah, their shit works. It's all designed to fuck you.
Catch-22.
It's all designed to fuck you.
You need to get a job to have a job experience, but they won't hire you because you don't have job experience.
And then it's like when it's like, well, it may be flawed at times. It's like, well, no, it's flawed all the time. It's for the poor to stay poor and the rich to stay rich, and the middle class to pay for both. That's it.
See, the poor are not really poor because they get benefits. So someone else is always paying something for them if they qualify. Middle class don't qualify, but they want to tax us more than the rich. It's just one mean cycle.
One large fucked up bullshit.
Because even the richest man in the world gave everyone $1 million from the last taxes. All tax would go up.
They give everybody $1 million.
Say the richest guy in the world gave everyone whoever filled out their taxes this year $1 million. So, technically that would help the economy because everyone's a millionaire. But no, milk would cost $10,000. Probably, yeah. Because the taxes would raise. Because you guys are now in a different bracket.
Milk would cost $10,000. That'd be
money at that point would not have a value of $1. It'd have a value of $10,000. It'd be like Bitcoin. One coin costs $60,000.
I just buy a cow.
Nope. They're coming after you, bud.
$1 million.
He's gonna take that $1 million. He's gonna live off the land.
That's it.
He's like, I got a garden. I got a cow. I got chickens.
That's it. I got eggs.
I got food. I even got a cooker and a butcher, so I don't have to do it myself.
There's this guy on TikTok, boy. He just lives in caves. He's like, I live in caves. He makes all of his stuff out of like bone and rocks.
Is that the guy that was hitting shit like the wood?
Yeah, he was making an axe or whatever.
But he makes enough money for TikTok.
He just, I don't know if he makes it. He probably makes money off TikTok now.
Well, no, I'm saying, but he has money to pay for his cell phone service.
Right. You know, but he showed how he charged his cell phone. It's just a little solar panel he's got. Like, he's still got like a few little things.
I gotta pay my bill.
But it's like, you know.
But technically, that'd be recycled money if he made money off TikTok to pay his cell phone bill.
Right.
That means he's not doing anything.
No, he's still not. You know, he just basically just fucking hangs out in caves all day, builds stuff,
makes showers in the lake.
Go take a swim in the lake.
Clean his clothes.
Like, what do you? People are too bougie now. Like,
do you live off the land? No, you see.
There's thing you don't. I'd move. Right? Somewhere colder, right? I'd go up to Maine or Canada or something like that.
You probably could live in a cabin, couldn't you?
You know, if it was cold enough, yeah. If the weather was...
Then you couldn't grow.
You know. Yeah, you can.
Well, the ground's too hard.
Hydroponics.
Not just for weed.
You don't.
So you have a tobacco weed, because you roll your own tobacco, right?
Right. Not gonna... not...
He has weed for clothing. Hemp.
No, I just go buy. Like, I get a few things, you know. Like,
tomatoes
I
are growing.
get some shirts and some khaki pants, you know.
Laundry detergent. Smell good stuff.
Washer. Yeah. I can hang it up, you know. One of the foot ones that spins it around real fast. And
the mini one?
You know, whatever.
Wait, do you have electricity or is it just candles?
No,
you want to play Apex?
I got to play Apex. I need a little.
He's the only one that has fucking fiber optics.
I would have solar panels and shit to run my
the biggest satellite in the backyard to catch a signal for the internet.
Right, satellite uplink.
That's it.
Just so I could play Apex.
That's it. That's all it's for. That's it. And Netflix.
Right, and movies and stuff. Well, that way, if the government went looking at it, right, because they'd see the IP address.
It'd be a VPN.
But it wouldn't be doing anything.
He's bouncing off of fucking Europe.
Right. They'd like, oh, what is he doing? Oh, he's playing Apex. No, okay.
Does he pay taxes?
Whatever. No. Right. Does he pay taxes?
He doesn't make any money.
No, he doesn't make it. Right. He doesn't. That's crazy.
He has solar energy.
It's all the solar power.
But here's the catcher. His main house is hooked up to the system. Right? So he's living in a shed in the back. So his property does have electricity. He just doesn't use it. Does that count? You're hooked up to the system.
Poor Samsung.
What happened with Samsung?
Well, you know the Apple 12's been announced. It was
the purple thing.
Right. It's been running for probably
how's your color?
2 or 3 weeks. But of course Samsung's struggling to keep up with, right? Because Samsung does about every 7 or 8 months. Apple's every 6 months on the dot. Right?
On the dot.
Like they don't. I think what they're doing is they're not releasing the new phone until the phone ahead of it is being worked on. Right, so like they released 12,
like cars,
right? But 13 is already being processed.
And basically, like what you said, you're using us as guinea pigs to test out what we should keep in 13 or not.
Right. A lot of companies don't use testers anymore. Like they got a few people in their company. They're like, hey, check this out. Tell me what you think.
Is it working?
Right. Is it working? What's not? You know, stuff like that. Like. And it's like with games and stuff like that, they're using
Reddit.
People.
Hey, it worked on Sonic.
You know.
Changed his face.
Some of the stuff.
Worked on Deadpool.
You know. Right, but that's different than like.
I know they collect our data to see how much we use and what apps we use and what we use the most. So the next phone's going to have higher battery life because of Instagram and TikTok's taking so much of it.
And see, that was a long time ago,
and
right?
faster charging because people just need to be on their phones.
Originally, you had to pay for sites, right? And they're like, well, you can either pay for sites, like you can pay for Google to use Google every month, or Google can collect your information and sell that for way higher than what they were going to charge you.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. There's an option. Back in the day, like a login pass.
Right. And sell that information to buyers and stuff like that.
Like, remember, they're like, oh, you're going to pay for Facebook and
Right.
Twitter and Instagram.
And it was the best thing ever, right? For places like Google and stuff like that. Because that's the thing they didn't tell you is that they were going to make way more money off of you
or your data collecting
by selling all of your information
and
versus you paying $10 a month for.
They don't mean like your cell phone. They mean whatever you're searching, so that way it can other people can try to sell you this. Like
right.
The myth when we say we're going to talk about something and your phone's always
and the phone
on,
brings it up. We're right,
and it comes up on your feed because you Googled it and da 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 da, and because Google's in partnership with YouTube, Facebook, and Facebook owns Instagram and.
That's like my
Snapchat and
my shit's stopped trying to sell me shit.
Did you stop talking?
Well, it's not because I stopped
they
talking.
send
It's
emails
like
too.
Well, that and if I get an ad about something, right? If you're like, even if I fucking need it, right? And I'm like, oh, I've got to have this. I'm like, fuck you. I will never buy that. As soon as I see, it's like, oh, get power drinks or drinking more water, drink this or. You know, as soon as it's something that's like, oh, I need in my life, right? Then I'm like, you know what? I will never buy you because I've seen the advertisement for it. I do the opposite. I go for the ones that don't have the money to put up these big advertisements all the time. Alternative brands, stuff like that. I'm just like, you're not going to sell me like I'm a fucking guinea pig. That's not a thing that's going to happen, right? Just not a thing that's going to happen.
Josh has been ghosted.
Oh, is that...
Apparently that's today's topic.
It is. We only got 10 minutes left for your topic. Thank
Shucks.
God. Thank God.
I know, I waited.
You waited? In case it was a bad topic? Like yesterday's bad topic?
Oh, man.
It was terrible. Things are going back to normal. Nope.
I don't know. We don't discuss anything anymore.
So we discuss lots of things all the time.
No, I'm talking about before the show. For an idea of what the topic would be on Tuesday.
Listen, let's not bring this back around me.
I didn't say it on you.
It's right now we're on you.
It's hard.
Why did you get ghosted? It's because you talk too goddamn much. That's why you want to talk about everything. Just talk about talking. We do a talk show. Let's talk about it. That don't make no sense.
You gotta talk about the topic before you appears.
No, this is more authentic. So what happened?
See, that makes me so mad because you don't understand marketing. We got to preview it. We go live. It's not like we record it and then you come up with everything.
The topic is you got ghosted.
Yeah, it's today.
Maybe we should talk about the topic.
No,
not make this about me.
I'm ending the show. You made me so mad just now. I fucking hate you. You make me so upset.
So why?
This is so authentic. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But
why?
You can't market authentic because it's live.
Why?
That means I can't tell people what we're going to talk about tomorrow because we don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. Because no one's going to tune in because they don't know what we're talking about. That's how you get people to tune in because they're like, oh, I wonder what subjects they're talking about this. Now I'm going to come listen to it.
I was just trying to go back to the subject. We can talk about this after talking about
you
it.
Think so? You think we're going to talk about it? You're just going to walk out and ask me for a cigarette and leave.
Again, I feel like you're mad about other stuff and you're taking it out on me.
No, I was mad at your comment.
Well, I can't change that.
Ugh.
I call you fat and stupid all the time. You don't get mad at those.
No, it's different.
So what? When did you realize you got ghosted? Like what was?
Oh, Mother's Day.
Mother's? Oh, so what happened Mother's Day?
I wished her happy Mother's Day.
Didn't say shit.
It says delivered. So she blocked me.
She blocked you?
Oh no.
Or she just opened it and didn't.
No, didn't open it and then say read. Delivered. Like either she saw it came from me and never wanted to look at it, or blocked it so she wouldn't read it.
That's weird.
Yeah, especially on Mother's Day.
You would think
even accidentally open it.
Accidentally open it?
Oh yeah, it's a message comes up. You're busy. Happy. Who is it? Oh, him. See, that's okay. Left on red. But this is delivered. It means like because on iPhones you can just block, and you don't know. So this all happened a couple months ago, right?
Right.
So we're hanging out a lot. My friend Lonnie was on the show.
Oh, I think you should not name names.
I don't give a shit. What shit? She don't watch. I'm blocked.
Probably for the. She could be watching right now. You know. saw the titles. Like, who do you get ghosted by?
Oh, she knew. She ghosted me in the past too. It's not new.
It's not. It's something she does often.
It's reoccurring between me and her.
It's like, oh, she talks to me for like.
So we hang out
4
for a
months.
couple months or whatnot, and I call her my love interest. She doesn't. It's whatever.
Sounds like there needs to be more communication before those comments.
DJ makes fun of us all the time. But anyways, like even ghosted as a friend. So she calls me up. She tells me she's going to be really super busy and don't have time for me because she's going to be going to school and then, of course, her kid and job. Yeah, that's understandable.
No, hold on. Let's stop there.
No,
wait,
that's
I got to stop you there. Hold on. Wait.
Fucking words.
Wait. I'm going to be going to school. So I don't have time for you anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
I won't have time.
Now, when you call me and say something like this.
Oh, she told me that in person.
Right? In person call, when you say something like this.
Because we would hang out, we go to, out to eat, and then I would have to pay.
In my head, it tells me you're trying to get a rise out of me. Right? You're trying to get some type
I just said, okay.
of emotional response.
Why?
Right? Out of me. Because you're either like there's like one of like 2 or 3 reasons. Like you're bored, right? Like you're just absolutely bored, and you want to try to see if you can make somebody else miserable or feel some type of way because you're fucking bored.
I just agreed with her.
Right. Well,
was it a test?
It could have been a test, right? Like
maybe
she wanted you to go, well, no, you need to save some time for me because I think this relationship is important.
How she is, I believe it. How she is, I believe it.
Well, emotionally, she's a brick.
Yeah.
Like
so I'm just like,
so
you want to focus on school? Because she would call me randomly, or we talk, or we go out. But because I don't have a 9 to 5 like she does, I can't go out on weekends. It always comes back to my job. Always. It's not on her schedule.
I feel like I feel like when
and then I don't want to go to Red Crab.
Oh, so it's all because you didn't want to go to
no. So anyways,
seafood.
So she said this to me. I said, okay, understandable. Focus on school, get your degree, whatever. We're not dating. I don't care. So then a month or so goes on, 2 months, and she calls me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what's up? And she was talking to me. And then she goes, oh, I found someone.
What'd you find him doing?
I'm like, you found like?
Did you need a mechanic? Like what?
I'm like, yeah. What do you mean you found someone? She's like, oh, I met a guy. I was like, so my first response was pettiness, and I was like,
right,
you don't have time for me, but you have time to meet someone.
You have time to find someone.
You have time for a guy. And she's like, oh, I just want to tell you, make a big deal out of it. And then I just kept going on about it, but eventually she's like, I was going to take the next 3 days off and come see you. But now you're being petty, so I don't want to talk to you. And she hung up on me. So I was like, did she call to pick this fight?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, because I'm like, oh, how's school? How's your daughter? How's wife?
Absolutely. No, she called.
And then she's just like, oh, yeah, no, I met a guy. And I'm like, you don't have time to call or talk to me or answer my calls. Talk to me or go out and get something to eat. But you have time to do all this stuff that you didn't have time for me, plus find a guy. And I was emphasizing on it, and she got so mad, and she hung up. And I guess she thought I was going to call her back. And I went to bed. And I didn't think nothing of it. And then she texted me something about my Amazon account, and then we were talking then, and then, like, we both went to Dogecoin together, because I told her about Dogecoin. Mm-hmm. So the first time I went to 40 cents, I texted her.
Right. Went
to 40 cents. No response. So I continue to live off my life because that's how I deal with her. If she doesn't respond, I just keep moving on.
You just.
And then on Mother's Day, she's a mother. Happy Mother's Day.
You don't text her again and be like, "Hey, no, what? You okay?" Like,
how many times she's ghosted me? I have protected myself by using this method. Like, you remember that one fight she had, and I was like, "Oh, we got to have a talk show that night because she pissed me off." I'm like, do you want me to come over or not? Like, oh, I did, but now I don't. I'm like, what?
She's a bag full of crazy, if I'm being honest.
But yeah, Mother's Day was the key. Like, I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is a nice response from a friend to a friend. Like, happy Mother's Day. No response.
You sure? Because it really is the way you said it. It really sounds like you were trying to get into her pants right then and there.
But I'm like thinking, like every time we fight, the past fight was about Caitlyn.
Why?
Because at the time I was still helping Caitlyn and the kids as an idiot, but it's my choice to be an idiot, not hers.
Well, that's true.
And then she kept getting mad because I didn't drop everything to have lunch with her. I was like, well, no, I already made plans. You want to make plans with me, we can make plans. Like, no, you shouldn't be hanging out with her.
She like spur of the moment, you know. Hey,
oh yeah, you try to tell that shit to her.
Sometimes authentic is better, you know.
Then get mad because I don't drop everything.
I mean, people have mood swings.
I'm saying that's another time she ghosted me.
You know, people sometimes
another
just
time
get mad
she
for
thought I had
reasons.
feelings for her.
She thought you had feelings
yeah, and
for
she
her?
left for months, years. She's just really good at ghosting me.
No,
I ghosted her once. She made me mad. I ghosted her ass.
It sounds like she's got just as much probably dealings with her emotional baggage
than me.
And then no, she just doesn't know how to feel or handle things. So she just, rather than deal with it, she peels.
Yep, that's her.
You know, she can't.
And if she doesn't understand why she feels that way, she's clearing it.
You know, she's
clearing it.
She needs a psychiatrist.
She has one.
Well, she needs a better one.
They were Skyping during the pandemic.
Yeah, she needs a better one.
I was like, good for you. She went to anger management classes. She did it all.
I'm just saying. You know.
She's like, I don't like you like that. And I was like, okay, then don't act like you do.
Oh. Don't make me take you out to dinner. And
why am I paying? Why can't we split it? Yeah.
Sit across from me and make googly eyes at me while we're eating lobster.
Right? I hate that.
Or, you know. I don't know. I'm just...
But she's done it so many times. I forget she even does it.
You forget she'll be back in a year or so.
Yeah, just pick up when we left
off.
Hey,
what's going on? Look, Deutsch.
And then I try to talk to her about it. And then she's like, this is not the time. I don't want to talk about it. Like, she never wants to talk. So much time has passed. She's like, nope.
The not wanting to talk about things, that I understand. Right? Like, I don't like talking. Like,
well, I like closure.
Upset.
Like, why did you fucking...
Well, apparently you don't, because you've done this 2 or 3 times.
So, because she never wants to talk about the real reason. Like, whatever the reason is, she never wants to talk about it. So, apparently it's going to happen again, because I'm going to keep doing what the fuck I'm doing, because you don't want to talk about it.
Oh, man, I made a mistake and looked at the camera.
What's wrong with it?
Every time I look at my hair, man, I am a sexy motherfucker. And I cannot.
I'm just going to mute him, guys.
Probably. It's like... You know why I don't? You know why I don't shave the face, right? It's because it's the jawline's there. It's me and Sam X got this jawline, you know.
Oh, you don't want the whole world to know what the jawline?
Oh man, don't you can't. You just.
But yeah, I'm heartbroken again.
Heartbroken again.
Half the time I don't even know I'm depressed until like 6 weeks in. I'm like, shit, I think I might be depressed. The symptoms are there.
I'm happy as long as my PlayStation works properly.
So you've been sad a lot.
I've been sad a lot. Yeah.
You played last night, and then you basically forced me and Sonya off.
What do you mean?
Like, you guys should get off. It's late. Like, what?
You both left quick, too. Like, you were so happy to go.
Some fault.
Huh?
Oh, it's you. Okay. We were not happy.
You guys seemed very happy to go. You're like, oh, bye-bye.
Tone in your voice was just like, I'm going to go get above in levels before you guys catch up.
I didn't even play. I played 1 round and then...
So you secretly wanted to get off?
And then got off and watched some Doctor Who.
That's what I've been hearing from your room.
I was just like... Yeah, just Doctor Who.
So, that's all the... time we have for today.
Is that a buzzer?
That's the buzzer.
That's a dumbass buzzer. Don't forget.
The whole time I should have been like, so she won't talk to me?
It's just so sad.
His name is John C.
What is this?
You can't see me. He was in the Fast and Furious movies the whole time.
The whole time.
You just didn't know he was there.
You just couldn't see him. Jesus.
Don't bring him into this.
I'm sorry. Don't forget that this month is Mental Health Month.
Awareness.
Mental Health Awareness Month. Sorry, it's just a mouthful.
I mean, you guys take self-care of yourself. Find ways to relieve your stress without going crazy.
I just can't wait until December comes back so I can just be like, it's Toys for Tots month. Again.
Tits for tots.
Tits for Tots. Yeah,
That's the milk company.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not really good at these. Maybe that'll be
We can do when we have AdSense. You got to read a fucking...
Oh, man, I'm going to fuck them up all the time.
It's a voiceover.
People are going to pay me to fuck shit up.
It's a voiceover. We're just going to make a commercial.
We're just going to make a commercial. You're going to have to do about 30 takes. He's going to get half of 20 of them right.
He'd be like,
And
Viagra.
you'll just
help
have to-
shit. TJ, why are you talking in that voice?
It's just,
I don't know.
Viagra helps you stand.
That's not
You'll
how
just
they
have
want
to-
us to read it.
Yeah, you'll just have to piece them together. I'll be like, but I felt like this phrase should be read that way.
As an actor.
As an actor.
Read the goddamn thing.
Right? When you read it, it sounds like it should. I looked at the guy. He sounded, you know.
It's not Old Spice commercial. Calm down.
Old Spice.
The crazy.
But it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
And our charity this month is the National Alliance of Mental Illness.
It is.
Which you can find the information down below. Don't forget to catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM,
Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Anywhere that allow us.
Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah.
All your platforms.
Just for the hell of it. We would do Facebook, but they like to kick us out.
We go live every Tuesday between 10 and 11. 10 and 12. And which pretty much 10 11.
Yeah.
And then Wednesdays
Between
4 to 6.
I think it's 5 to 7.
Whatever, later in the day, so people, you know. That's it.
That's it.
Josh got ghosted.
I got ghosted. Thank you all for watching. It's been along this ride with us.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, share.
Hit your notification button so you get it.
Sometimes we go out randomly because it doesn't want to work. Sometimes we do Facebook gaming.
Sometimes Facebook gaming. What?
We do. We do.
Do we?
We go and we had our talk show gaming like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you mean our talk show gaming? Yeah, we do that sometimes.
We do some things.
We do some things. We're here and there.
All right. Catch you next week. Maybe there'll be a topic.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.